You don't need a killer dragon for me. Ooh, I don't need no fairy tale.
So, last time, you guys did the intro session. You went to a festival. There was some barrel breath holding. Um, you got a torch, and you decided to nominate yourself the official torch bearer, and have yet to put it down since that moment.
Oh yeah.
You marched westward and ended up in Meadowfen, which is a small way stop on the way to the Western Road, and the last way stop inside of the kingdom at large. From here, you spend the night in actual beds, and you intend to turn southward, either skirting the swamp, costing you an extra half a day, or passing through the swamp in order to spend as little time as possible. Either way, you plan to stop at um, Grigory's hometown, where supposedly a star has fallen. And that's where he got his fanciful metal for his fanciful blade. Jeffrey! Jeffrey! I saw your leg!
He says he saw your leg.
No, he didn't.
I hear your voice! Liar!
He says he hears your voice. You better escape before you're part of this.
I know.
It's true. We got an extra spot if you want to join.
I got so much space right
left.
here.
He shut the door immediately.
I'm sure. So you decided to spend the night. You gathered some local knowledge and rumors, and one of you I believe was planning to check out the little local mercantile area, but had not done so yet. And that's probably where we left off. Did I miss or forget anything? Look out.
Was it a bottle?
No. I have
just
dropped a Coke can on my keyboard, though, in the last 2 weeks. So.
Oh,
That's
no.
it.
Sticky keys.
Yeah. Yes, it is a pun.
Yeah, I think Kosher needed to go to the merchant area, and then I think
did
we
you
were
finish talking to the guy at the bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like you had finished
I
gathering
think so.
rumors, and I
Yeah.
think you were
He
going
gave
to
me
bed.
Did he give me any sort of information or something?
I think he
or-
did, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, me neither, man.
Should have taken notes.
Fuck. I think I wrote the player names down.
There you go. There's that. And you were gonna head and you were gonna check out the merchant in the morning, and I think you were all going to bed. I want to say.
Oh yeah, I decided to I've been using sticks to prop my arm up to keep the
So
torch
you
lit.
set up a little stand for your wrist to hold the torch in.
Oh wait, I think I talked to the guard or something. Like the bounce. I talked to the bouncer.
Yes, I recall there was a bouncer.
Yeah, and he said it was cool for me to bring the torch in.
Probably.
He said he wouldn't normally allow it, but
So you remembered your drink, but not your name. Until he thought about it really long. That's all I remember. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, he said that'll be him over there, and he called the guy Little Buddy, and then I was under the impression he was going to be small.
He was not small.
Yeah, but he was not small. Okay,
He was
I think
smaller than the very large man.
Right. Okay, I am now satisfied. I believe my character interactions have been completed.
I do recall that detail. Yes, yes. So night passes. You awaken in the morning, fresh and raring to go. Grigory is awaiting downstairs. He appears to have risen quite early and has already eaten breakfast when, by the time those of you who are doing so make their way downstairs. You may now gather your materials and head out. If you want to stop at the merchant building, you can. If you want to do anything else before leaving, now's the time.
I'm gonna go check out the market area.
Okay.
Just to see what I can
There's
browse
a
around and talk to people.
singular medium-sized building that can hold one kind of large shop spread or several smaller shops worth of goods. Usually, as we mentioned last time, this is filled with other traveling merchants, such as yourself, who will just kind of open up shop while they are staying here. There is currently one shopkeep or one traveling merchant inside of the building who is here for a short stay of a couple of weeks. She is just opening up the building when you approach, and she turns around and, oh hey, I think I've seen you before. You been here before?
Yes, I've passed through a couple times. I just came out to check and see who all was here and what kind of stuff I might find, or information I could seek out.
Oh, I'm here. I think I'm the only one doing business right now. I've got some clothing from the Western Empire and a dog in my lap that has
From the Eastern Empire?
from the Eastern Empire, and no sense of personal space. You know,
Hmm,
and she
that's really sweet.
she opens up the door and heads on in and lets you follow her. Hello,
Kind of follow
Dag.
her in.
Okay. She starts. Okay. She starts unlocking the large crates where she stores her goods, and kind of just starts pushing stuff out onto racks. She does have some pretty foreign-looking clothes, and then like the central counter is just kind of like odds and ends from her travels. So there might be interesting goods there. It might just be like weird toys from far away.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at the interesting odds and ends.
Okay.
See what I can see.
All right. Roll investigation for me from your sheet. What this? You got scab? Is it dirt? It's dirt. Okay. That's not very good. Most of the things you see, you kind of dismiss as probably toys. They don't really make sense to you, so you just kind of assume they're foreign toys.
Okay.
Other bits would be like local stuff. Like maybe there's some unique wooden toys or unique wooden little structures that come from Bracken Hill or Bracken Mill, which is a town on the eastern side of the area, famed for a particular style of wood or tree that grows there.
Okay. I asked the merchant if how long she's staying there,
She said
and
she'd be
when did she
here.
get in town?
She said she'd be here for a couple weeks, and she's been here maybe 6 days so far.
Okay. Well, I ask her, or I tell her, thank her for her time, and I move on my way as I don't see anything interesting.
Okay. So you guys gather up outside. Gregory is in a hurry to get going, so he's waiting for you on his pony. So now, before you head out, you need to decide whether you want to take the shorter or the longer path. The longer path costs you half a day, but is not traveling through marshlands.
So, shall we take the shorter path, or should we take the appropriately long path?
I propose that we stay along the road so that anyone who wants to see this great torch can bear witness.
That's a fair idea. I
Gregory
would agree
turns.
with that.
No road. He gestures south, to which there are no roads.
Well,
Uh,
then we forge our own road.
let
Yes,
the torch light the way.
Indeed.
So I heard no actual answers.
So we're gonna take we previously discussed going the long way around as opposed to the quick way around because
Right.
Right.
no need to draw more danger to ourselves than nothing.
And that discussion was for like the quick way, as in like straight southwest. This would be
Right.
like straight south or a little southish curving. Like that one would
Where
have saved you.
where are we going on the map?
Sorry, you are. Let me tab over. You are currently in Meadowfen here.
Yeah.
You are headed somewhere in the Mockton Caverns here, directly
Hmm.
south-ish. Now, you can skirt these marshlands by making that curve southwesterly, or you can head directly south.
Oh.
You are planning like your first destination, Gregory's small home, is around here, but the torch sconce cavern is here.
Okay.
Well, if we have to subvert, I don't even. If we have to go around the marshes anyway to get to Gregory's house and his slime family, then we should probably do that first, and then we can cut over through the marsh.
Right, I forgot he was secretly a slime.
Indeed, I guess that's fine.
So we're taking the long way. Yes.
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 All right. So by and large, the long way is a completely safe route. It just costs you more time.
I'm seeing Randy just marking through all these bog creatures and people.
I've got a page and beyond open, like swamp critters, low level. All right, don't need this one. So you spend the next day and a half, maybe 2 days, depending on weather and whatnot. But by the end of the second day, you will have skirted the swamplands, and throughout your time there, like while you're traveling into daylight, if you look eastward into the swamp, you do see what might be creatures, but it's not. It's always a might because of like swamp gas and how kind of hazy the swamplands typically are. You're never sure if it's just the fauna blowing in a musty breeze or something actually moving in the swamplands. The only time that you do encounter what you think is actually a creature is at lunch on the second day. You stopped for half an hour, you've cooked up some of your rations or your extra food, and out in the swampland, you see what looks to be the thin trail of smoke, about the size that a campfire, burning regular smoking logs would create. You spot it, but other than the smoke trail, you don't really see a whole lot. For those of you who have excellent perception, something like a 15 or higher as their base, I don't know if that's any of you, you might be able to spot figures, like outlines of figures at the base where a fire might be. Not wanting to go into the swamp, of course, because that sounds silly. You pack up your lunch and continue southward. And as sundown approaches, you spot Grigori's small home village just over the hill you crested. There are maybe 18 to 22 huts, all small in size, only large enough to really host one like nuclear family. The only really outstanding feature, other than these huts and that it's obviously like a kind of dilapidated swamp town, is this enormous hunk of rock. It is probably the size of one of the huts, so a solid 12 feet tall and 12 feet across. It sits kind of on the inland side, so not the swamp side, but the plains side of the village, and looks like it probably crushed 2 huts on its rolling path into town. Grigori's home, and he starts babbling in his native language, which is their Gerbine tongue, and he starts to rush off on his pony.
Oh. Wait. I don't speak I only speak bird folk. Are we gonna just cut that out so I can talk to people, or yeah, I just remembered that when you started talking about language.
No.
Yup.
Let's see. Let's see.
It says I know how to listen to and understand Orin, but I can't speak it.
Yeah, but that's the air elemental language. That's not even what any humble folk speak.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So yeah.
Well, I mean, the only person with a problem with that would, of course, be Lycus.
The mayor and like
Oh yeah, well no, the mayor's a chicken. He's a Gallus.
oh, that's true.
Like
Okay.
most of the people you interacted with were bird folk of some flavor.
Yep.
Can't believe I forgot that. Except for the bar person, that was a mistake.
Right, you have so like the servant at the bar, and of course Lycus. I'm trying to, like, what language do you speak, Lycus?
He speaks birdfolk and Vulcan.
That's what I
Birdfolk
figured.
is kind of the
Sweet.
common tongue.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
bird folk
most
is the
races can speak
bird
bird
folk is common. Okay, so you can definitely speak and listen to most people.
Okay, so this is funny if I don't speak the same language or understand Gregory at all.
I mean,
that probably would have been pretty good for the missing.
But that's the deal, and that's why I've been speaking him. He mostly speaks in Gervine, and so when he says things, it has been those limited word sets.
Does anybody else have language limitations?
Yeah,
Everyone.
I'm the same boat as
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Oh shit. Okay.
all of the
But-
bird folk pretty much only speak bird folk.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Most of the humble folk will speak bird folk plus their race's tongue.
Okay. Are there any humble folk that don't speak bird folk?
I mean, I'm sure I could make an NPC that does, but it would be less common.
None of the player classes.
No,
Or races?
none of the playable races, but but I could make an NPC from a playable race, who's comes from an only ground dwelling village on the the extremes of the Great Wood. Okay, so
Oh,
Gregory just rushed off. He spurred his pony, and they just peeled off down towards the village, leaving the rest of you in the dust.
Oh, there goes Gregory. Wait! And I go running off after him.
Okay. Now that
I'll follow.
I've seen what Pepper thinks her character looks like, I can imagine this large, ungainly goose picking up the bottom of her dress.
The slime. He's escaping.
I feel like that was like low key JFK.
There's definitely
slime.
The slime. He's escaping.
Ugla's Sean Connery impression.
I think it's going to take a couple of sessions, but eventually this is going to settle into some sort
You're
of
gonna
voice.
solidify into a voice.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Or maybe not. I mean, maybe he's just been on the streets and met so many people that he just fucking talks totally random. Wait, or maybe it's a character trait. It's just a totally different fucking accent every session.
Maybe.
Best character
Yeah.
trait. I'm gonna use that. In
Yeah,
my
he was hit over the head in a fight a long time ago.
I can't remember his own voice, so he just
Right.
makes one up every time he tries to speak.
Maybe every long rest he has a different accent.
Makes sense.
Has that ever happened?
No.
Might be here. I just have to
Maybe.
pick one for at least a session.
Yeah. Like get you a list that every time you long rest, you roll a d8. That's my
Oh
voice.
my
for now.
god.
You pull out the tape
Yes.
recorder and you're
Mhm.
like, this is session 3. And this is my accent.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Maybe I can incorporate my inability to keep a single accent into my character.
That sounds like a plan.
It's not a flaw, it's a trait.
Right. That's just a feature.
Yes.
Sure.
All right. So Genra is rushing towards the village. What are the rest of you up to?
I am following Genra, but a little more cautiously. I'm hanging back and watching the surroundings while we chase after him
Okay.
to make sure we don't lose him.
Going to attempt to catch him.
Lycus goes skipping after Genra.
Okay. Worth noting or remembering that aside from poor Lycus, the other three of you can fly ish.
Yes.
Just a
I get
reminder
heavy
that you
armor.
have wings.
I do like to
wow.
waddle though. So
I see. Okay. So you
If I strip naked real quick, I can glide.
could. So you all hustle along, some more cautiously than others. Um, it seems like this small swamp adjacent town is probably essentially a large family unit in a variety of buildings. As soon as they hear Gregory's pony riding up to the area, the entire town pours out. This is some like 60 to 80 Gerbine, all just flood out of their homes and welcome him into the town, and they all seem very joyful and pleased that he returned. By the time you guys are showing up, he is showing off his prize from having won second place in his his bout. They're all oohing and awing, and he's already launching into the story. Not that you actually understand him. It's kind of obvious when someone's putting on their storyteller face. He's like,
and people are passing the medal around looking.
And so you guys walk into town, and his story immediately stops as he has suddenly lost all focus. And they're all turning towards these four strangers, all of which are definitely not Gerbine. One of which is large and intimidating and a predator. Not you, Ugla. That'd be Lycus.
I got my torch ready. I want to try and impress.
Not that Lycus is actually intimidating in like his mannerisms or where he's a fox. Foxes eat mice. So
I think owls like exclusively.
Oh, owls definitely exclusively eat mice, but that's just the way it goes.
Right.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna see this going on, and I want to try and like enhance his story. So I'm going to strut up proudly behind him, bearing the torch, and like bowing towards him.
He turns over, and at first he's intimidated. Then he's like, "Oh, he's trying to help me. Okay." And he introduces you as something, and they're like, "Oh, ooh."
Yes, the torch of the mighty games comes to your humble town, bearing the backs of the second place champion.
Yes, games champion. Yeah, like it's obvious most of them are less than confident at birdfolk in language, and the Gregory starts like introducing you guys, and he attempts to translate, but his birdfolk's not great either. So he's like blah 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 blah. Oogla! And they're like, ooh.
I'm just imagining Ewoks right now.
Yes, definitely Ewoks. Eventually, introductions go down, and you guys have to suffer through a shortened version of the festival games story in Gerbine, so you have no idea what the fuck he's saying. But he obviously launched back into his story after he finished introducing you. Several of the Gerbine children have taken it upon themselves to be fearless and are walking around, poking at you and pulling on your armor and your clothing. One of them definitely wants to hold the torch. He's sad about it.
I'm gonna allow him to like put his hand like up on my wing and hold it with me for a second and smile. Posing for a picture, but there's no cameras. So.
Yeah. At one point,
maybe I'll get an idea. I'll pick him up with one wing and let him hold it with me, and we're gonna run around around the town square.
There you go. Okay. All right. So you guys have a grand old time. It is sundown, so it's approximately dinner, and during the story, food and drinks have been brought out. After the short-term festivities, some of the people go back to their like evening duties, and Gregory will take you over to the Fallen Star. He walks over there and says, "Star, sword, star, sword, star, rock." He obviously has forgotten the word for metal or ore. So he's doing his best.
How much is it? Like, what do we see?
It's 12 feet high and 12 feet across. It's big as fuck.
Wow.
This is a full-size boulder. Twice as...
And we're supposed to bring this back?
The mayor tasked you with gathering any of it or as much of it as you can.
Grigory, do y'all have pickaxes we can use?
Yes.
You recall, or you can still see, Gregory's primary profession is a smith, not a swordsman. So he carries a large hammer, and that's probably what he used.
Hmm. Do you have any sharp hammers?
Sharp. He pulls out the sword.
For hitting, I'm gonna try and take the hammer from him and like hit on it, like sharper. Trying to explain pickaxe.
And he runs off to his little smithy and comes back with a hammer that does have that has a pointed side, and a flat on, So he's got that.
Nice, that's close.
Largely, it's actually still pretty small. I mean, he's a small creature.
Right.
You could use that. It would just take you a while. You might have better luck with trying to fashion your own, or maybe you decide you have to come back for this thing.
This looks like quite the job, but I don't know how we're going to put this in a bag and take it with us. Have you ever created a tool that
I got an
we
idea.
need? Oh, okay.
Give me a shot. Give me an hour with this pointy hammer. I bet I can get us.
I mean, some doesn't sound like a lot with that little tiny hammer, but
Well, there's
alright,
no way we
whatever.
can take it all back, right?
I would agree. As a trader, there's no way we could carry that. We don't really have the means of transporting it back. So
we
I
could
think
probably fashion some sort of wheelbarrow, but even that would take time and more resources, and I don't know what more we could really do. So let's just try and get what we can.
It's gonna be
Let's
so
all-
heavy. Lycus tries to like hop up and like scramble his way up the side to see if he can get to the top.
Yeah, it's pretty porous. I'd say that with minimal effort, it could be climbed.
Okay, it is pretty porous, so there's lots of places where a pick could get in there.
Certainly.
To
And there's like if you're willing to bend down, you'll see where Gregory was working on it. At his height, there is a little like tunnel o rock where he was working on it for who knows how long to get his amount of it.
Okay.
And being a crafter yourself in some capacity, it's not hard to guess that the entire boulder is probably not star metal.
Right. And I have an idea. He proclaims proudly from the top of the rock. We're going to get some slime juice and use it to melt away all of the non-star metal.
Oh,
Great
that
idea.
sounds like a very smart idea.
I am a smart fox.
Grigory, do you have any of your bathwater handy?
Water.
Slime water. Your bathwater.
Bath. Water. And he just runs off and comes back with a bucket of rainwater.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Just gonna take it, just dump it over my head. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Gregory, slime, slime,
Slime.
slime,
Slime.
get slime. Please.
He points at the swamp.
Oh shoot. I think we'll need to go to the marsh and try to scoop up some slime of our own. Are we prepared to do that?
I'm willing to give it a shot, but I think we need to borrow his weapon
I do agree.
if he will allow it.
I'm looking forward to you trying to explain that to him.
Oh no. So I walk up and I point to his sword and be like, and then point to myself. We use sword to get slime,
Yes.
and then point to the swamp.
sword. He's like, "Yep,
Can-
I've got a sword."
and then I point to it, and then me, and like, can I? And I make the motion of use it, borrow.
Do
Then-
you have a bladed weapon of any kind?
Yes, I have two short swords.
He points at your short sword. Sword.
Could I use some bardic inspiration
To do what?
to give? Oh my God, what's your character's name?
Resic.
Why am I so bad at this?
Resic.
Yes, Resic. To
There-
give Resic more inspiration on how to translate what he's trying to do.
You can. You can burn some bardic inspiration, and I will allow Resic to make a performance check to add a lot of pantomiming to his request.
No.
So, damn, nice roll. And now you can add I think you're at a D4 at this level, right?
A what?
D6,
Genra?
yeah.
Oh, is it D6 at level 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll.
So I have to roll a d6.
No, he rolls because you gave it to him.
Okay, got it.
So slash roll space 1d6. All right, 21. Yeah, with a lot more pantomiming and a lot less speech. You slowly tell Gregory that you want to borrow his sword. He does not look pleased with the idea. He pulled it out while you were holding it because you were using it as a prop to explain. But as soon as he finally got it, he was like, "Sword, money."
Oh, this is gonna be so difficult. And then I ask do we want to try and buy it? Do we want to try and explain if we could just borrow it and we put up collateral so he knows we will bring it back to him?
Could we possibly get him to do the slime wrangling with his sword, free of charge, to help our cause?
I once again look forward to this being explained to Gregory.
I look at Ugla and be like, you have some rapport with him. Do you want to try and up his ego a little so we can try and corral him into helping us?
Yeah. Gregory, in the spirit of the games, which you showed great skill, poise, and candor under extreme pressure, those words were way too long. Would you be willing and able to help us, in the spirit of the games, once again, go wrangle some more slimes?
No.
And then we
I-
say
For a
Pay?
price?
pay question.
He's like you by looking at his face, you can tell that he didn't really understand what you were asking. But he heard the word slime a lot, and then he said no.
I'm gonna start using my real persuasive voice.
Okay.
Now Gregory. Let me look up any more town. I just said it. Shit. Winnowing Reach is not an especially large town. And in order to secure its future and its security, we need to be able to get a lot of this rock. But the only way to do that is with slime juice. And the only one here who's any good at wrangling slimes is you. We need you, and the citizens of Winnowing Reach need you.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Question. Okay, so
Nice.
Turbine can right bird folk. Slightly, right? Like maybe better than they speak it.
Your average Gerbine who lives in or near a major town, absolutely. These hillbilly Gerbine, hell no.
Goddamn redneck Billy Turbine.
Another game that starts with the old swamp people.
I've got a fondness in my heart for the Swampies.
At least this character doesn't have an active distaste for them.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we haven't totally just
No,
chucked them.
no stark racism just yet.
No.
Jeez.
So like you're swaying him. He definitely wants to help you. He really just doesn't understand what you want him to do. And so but after your speech, you can tell that he's feeling helpful. And so he's like, "Yes!" And he just starts walking eastwards.
Grigory, wait. Slimes?
Slimes.
Okay. You hold. We juice. Slime juice.
I don't like that.
Juice.
Let's go.
Okay.
Somebody grab a bucket.
All right.
I'm gonna load up my pack with buckets.
I'm gonna ask if we have something that's not a bucket, jar, maybe.
Do you?
Is there any sort of container that we can use? Maybe preferably one with some sort of lid on it, because this is going to get disgusting quite quickly. Anybody. Container.
I have a water skin.
I was gonna say, actually, could we ask?
Don't
since-
get rid of your water skin.
They like looking around the town. All of the containers they have are made of wood or grass.
Oh, I was gonna ask Oogla if he knew, since he had been doing the slime rodeoing. If
some
he knew.
slimes can be contained in wood, like the very weakest of them. You could like carry in a wood bucket, but most would eventually destroy something made of wood and wood alone.
Okay.
So you guys are marching
Time
to
is
the
of the
east.
essence. Okay.
It's now full night, and you guys are headed off into the darkness.
This is a bad idea.
Nope. Here we go.
Hold on, time out.
Woohoo!
He marks you probably a solid half hour. About maybe 5-10 minutes outside of the village, he pulls out a pair of rocks and claps them together, and they both light up. They're some form of like short-term phosphorescent stones. He tosses one to the four of you and carries one himself, and you guys march off into the darkness. Now these stones are barely candlelight, a solid 5-foot radius, basically your own square. But it's better than nothing. You can of course pull out your own torches, and some of you have dark vision.
Yay.
Yay. So, you march off into the swamplands. It is full night. You are in a swamp, marching next to a large series of mostly rock formation hills. So, like, they're not grassland hills. They're dirt and rock. But they are full hills, so, like, some of them look like they have crevices, maybe even actual, like, holes that would lead to a cavern.
Let's put this torch down in the hole tonight, if we can. It's this direction.
It is. You guys are headed northeast. So, about an hour and a half of like careful walking. You can tell that he's been in the swamps before. There are times when he stops you and you guys just stand there for a while. There are times when he hurries you along, and neither of those times do you know why that's happening.
Grigory. Torch hole.
Biggity!
And torch hole. Torch hole.
Slime!
Oh, slime after torch hole.
Juice!
Hmm.
Eventually, 90 minutes into your march into the darkness, he like stops you and points just up ahead out of the like major vision. Those of you with dark vision can see that there's like an inlet in this hill formation, maybe 50 feet ahead of you, in your like black and white dark vision. And that inlet is covered in what used to be a like large wood and stone structure. There might have been a gate or an entryway here some long time ago. It looks very dilapidated though. He points up ahead and goes, "Slime juice
Torch?
torch."
Ah. Right over there, guys.
He walks over to whoever's holding his other glowy rock. And it looks like he wants it back.
I hand
No.
him the rock.
Okay.
I was like,
Yes.
I don't even know what's. And then I realized.
Excellent. He's got both of his rocks, and he walks up to Ugla. He's got a little bit of like admiration in his eyes, you and your torch and your regal bearing, and he reaches out his tiny Jabin hand to shake. He shakes, like giant shaking small boy's hand. He shakes a finger or some shit,
It's a wing.
Yeah. He just grabs a wing feather. He's not really clear on where your hand is and where your wing stops. He just grabs a feather, shakes it.
It falls out.
And then he turns around. He's leaving. He's like, "Luck," and just starts walking off into the darkness.
No, wrangling.
Juice.
Yes.
Still
Return.
walking into the darkness.
At least hold the bucket.
Oh,
Well,
no. What have we
we're
done?
lost in the middle of the swamp.
Right around the edge of the people with dark vision, you can see him turn around towards you, and he goes, "Oh, spiders!" And then he just leaves.
I think he tried to help, but he is, after all, a slime.
oh,
There's only so
goodness.
helpful as they can be.
If he was a slime, we would have juiced him.
But we didn't know.
He didn't seem very
And he
willing.
led us into this trap.
He
Look
led
at
us to his real family.
I think he led a bunch of idiots into the middle of nowhere because he doesn't even know what we're doing and he doesn't understand.
no,
and we
no.
don't know what he's doing.
Check the map. I'm pretty sure this is where the torch goes.
As if your map has a waypoint. Like, oh, yes, you're here.
Hmm.
There's an exclamation point floating over the entryway.
You can see that old tree over there? Totally the same tree on the map.
Oh God.
You can see the map.
Oh yes, very good vision. These
Why
old
are
allies
spiders
still
out
work.
in a swamp? Don't they like rocks normally?
You're in a rock formation
Trees.
hillside.
We're in a rock formation. So.
Yeah.
Joyous. Well, have any of you any experience with spiders?
I ate one once.
I'm hearing a lot of crickets and nothing helpful.
I'm
Well,
just
that's
wondering where the previous torchbearers put this. Were they really sneaky? How did they get it back? This doesn't look well maintained at all.
Just,
I'm starting to wonder if anyone has ever even returned this torch, denying the sacred duty of the torchbearer. I don't
Are
see
you
any
saying
footprints.
that we're not going to return?
No, I'm saying that I think people have been slacking, and we're gonna do it right. We're gonna put this torch in a hole inside that rock somewhere.
So I didn't think you guys would actually come out here in the middle of the night in the swamp, so I didn't use my nighttime version of this map. But here's the daytime version.
Oh no.
Interesting.
As you approach, not like straight up to it, but getting a little closer, you do spot that it looks like there are man-made structures here. There was at one point in time a wooden gate, as well as two kind of, not really towers, but like spots atop the rocks where one could sit and watch.
Okay.
The wooden gate is in bad shape. There are spaces where a single person could easily slip through the fallen or splintered wood, or with a reasonable amount of strength, one could make a bigger hole.
Oh. Does someone need a hole to be made?
You like any of you could slip through single file, or you could not have to slip through if you wanted to like rip one of the larger logs out.
Oh, so it looks like we can all get through it already?
Yeah, you definitely could slip through, but you'd squeeze through like an old wooden gap, or you could pull one of the logs out and just walk through.
And what's
If
on the
it
other
looks
side
pretty
of
loose, I'm going to go for it without
So-
even talking about it.
If you let me put you guys here because you're not like standing at the gate just yet. No, what are you doing? Stop it. Selector tool.
All right. It looks creepy, but we have a duty.
Ugh.
And then I'll walk up and just rip that log down.
All right, so you guys are approaching from the south. So you haven't like you're off to the side a little bit, not standing right at the top of it. You have not looked inside yet. You're all approximately around here.
Kind of feel like jumping in a pool at this point, so it's going to be cold, but you just got to do it. Just going to walk up and just rip off that loose log you're mentioning and just step on through.
All right. So you approach to one of the more loose or less sturdy looking large structural logs, and you get your first look inside. Now it is still the dead of night. Ugly, I think you have good dark vision though.
Yeah.
Okay. You
It says
see
60 feet.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, wait. In darkness as if it were dim light. Yeah, that is good.
Right.
It's a little dim.
Oh boy.
So it's black and white in coloration, and you miss out on fine details, but you can see for the most part the interior or the exterior of what was probably at one point the entry point to a mining operation. The ground is covered in old detritus. There are like broken boxes or barrels at various points, and an old kind of stone stair here on the south side to what probably leads to one of these kind of lookouts at the top. You see the end of a mine cart path, but your dark vision doesn't go quite far enough into the crevice to see where it goes or the entryway.
All right,
More to the
before
point, you see large amounts of spider webbing.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to tear that log down.
Okay.
I see all that, and I'm going to turn to the group. Why, in Altus's good, sweet name, would they put the torch sconce in an old abandoned mine? This can't be right.
I have zero answers for you.
Maybe we're not at the location we think we are.
Yeah, I think we should keep going east, but remember this for a slime location, I guess.
Do we want to try and figure out where we're on the map so we can mark it? Come back to?
What did you see
Yes.
inside?
Mining equipment, broken wooden stuff, a mine shaft, and a shit ton of spider webs.
Were there
Were
any
there-
cards?
Any wet barrel?
Yes, we could use
What?
that.
What is that?
A wet barrel for storing wet stuff in. Usually it's charred on the inside to
All right.
make it so water can't.
Gonna look through there real focused like and see if I see any bear.
Okay, maybe it doesn't have to be charred, but
Peering through, you definitely see some broken barrels, some of which could be serviceable as like maybe the bottom half of a barrel that would still function properly, so it could hold half a barrel's worth of wet content. And like the things start to get too dark and too fuzzy at the edges of where I've got the fog, but you see more square and round objects in the darkness out there. You just can't see enough detail. So there might be more boxes and barrels. There might be a mining cart, but it's beyond the edge of your vision.
Are there any picks?
Oh, good call. Do I see any pics?
You definitely. I mentioned earlier. You definitely saw broken tools. If you got inside, you might find a pick or be able to construct a pick.
Well, there's probably the pieces to a pick. And as for the
So-
barrels, there's at least half barrels.
So what I'm hearing is there are materials and tools in this area that we're looking at. However, it comes at a price in which we'll have to deal with some pesky spiders. Is that correct?
Yes, I can't put the torch down. Like, I mean, I got a sword and a shield, but only 2 arms.
I can hold the torch.
No, you can't.
Absolutely
Oh
not.
my. Well, perhaps he could hold your shield or your sword. Then.
I don't.
If it helps.
We need to game
I'll be
plan.
okay.
We need a game plan, or we're just going to stumble back towards the way in which we think we came, and we may as well just be as lost as ever. So I don't know what I can even contribute, but I would love if we could figure it out. And
Can you grapple with one hand?
Sure.
All right, I've got an idea. I'll keep the torch up, and if any spiders come out, I'm just gonna grab them, and y'all all poke them, okay?
Can't you just light them on fire?
This is a sacred torch. There's no way.
I mean,
Well,
it might as well be
light them on
a
fire.
trash torch when you're dead.
It'd be an unlit
can light
torch
the-
on the ground.
I can light their
Desecrate.
webs on fire.
That might only just anger them, but
I mean, if they're in their webs, it's gonna catch them on fire too, right?
that is true.
I would say do it.
Okay, let's do this.
Could be
I'm
the
gonna
I'm gonna
beginning
grab
of
that
many
log
bad
and rip
decisions.
it down.
Okay. Roll strength for me. All this discussion, he's going to roll a 1.
Yep.
Solid. You grab onto one of the weaker looking larger logs and rip it out of the fence line. There's now a hole wide enough for the rest of you to walk through. Those of you with dark vision have can see the same interior as him. And as it comes tumbling out, you actually do see a couple of maybe like larger feathers and a patch or two of fur kind of like tumble into the dirt and dust. People definitely have come this way and probably were slipping through the wood rather than trying to pull it down.
Interesting. Can I discern how long ago they've passed through?
Make a survival check. About a year ago.
So it's ancient fuzz.
But-
Maybe the torch sconce is in here. Noticing, pretty clear fur and feathers and such. Maybe they did come through to put it up. They're just quiet about it. this seems like it's all coming into place. I like this idea. We're gonna burn the whole thing down and then go put up the torch.
All right. So you walk into the yard. Let me go ahead and reveal the rest of the area. You see 3 entry paths into a mining operation. Significantly more webbing and what look like once upon a time, wrapped spider silk in cocoons of various sizes. Several of the cocoons are quite large, but all of them have long since been like deflated or are not in use. There is, in fact, one functional mining pick of medium size, as well as probably 2 half barrels and enough material to kind of fit together another one with a suitable skill check.
All right. So there's something still bugging Agua. He's looking at these different mine shaft entrances, and it's just, he saw the fuzz out there and he knows it's in the general direction, but it's just not lining up with what he would expect a ceremonial torch sconce to be. Like, who would want to see it go into a mine shaft? He's not the brightest bird, but even he's, thinking this seems kind of weird.
With your
Concern to the group.
With your survival check, now that you're like inside the compound, you are making out more footprints in this kind of older, like less disturbed dirt. It looks as though they head towards the central shaft.
Yeah. So he sees that and there's definitely been people going through here, but it still seems weird to him that this, like a big grand ceremonial torch sconce is what he's expecting would be. So you turn to the group and he's like, are any of y'all well versed in the history of the games and know what we might be looking for?
I feel like that might be my character.
Anyone is
Somebody
welcome
just
to roll
drilled it.
history.
Lycus killed it. You get a
Lycus,
17 there.
Actually, everybody
Yeah.
knows but you, apparently.
The one actually carrying the torch.
Yes. All 3 of you are aware that the torch ceremony is regarded with much mystery, largely because in the past they really haven't played it up. And more importantly, now that you're really thinking about it, there really hasn't been a torch ceremony in the past. Like, there's always a, we bring in the torch, but there's never been a, go put the torch back kind of deal.
God damn it.
So somebody explain that.
Just thinking about this now, Lycus, you probably know what I'm talking about. I don't recall there being any sort of ceremonial torch carrying to some sort of sconce anywhere. Does that ring a bell to you?
Yeah, no, as first time in 6 years I've ever heard.
Well, there has to be something. They wouldn't have sent us into nothingness. I've been a proud citizen of Winnow's Reach. Is that right? Winnowing Reach for 27 years. And, there's no way they'd just send me into a dank old swamp to die. That's just crazy. So
Actually,
there's got to be
I
something.
think
Well,
that
what
feels like what they've done here.
what I asked?
No.
What?
The mayor
How do you
wouldn't.
know this is the place?
It could not be the place.
I mean, maybe not. Just seems like where it was on the map, and
Is there?
our little slime buddy brought us here, and there's clearly been movement in and out of this central shaft, judging by these footsteps and the fuzz at the gates. So
Yes.
maybe
In
this is
and out, you say? So there's people that's actually left.
I look back down. Yeah.
Well, at least that gives us some sort of hope that we'll escape here, but Yes, this whole thing is quite peculiar, and I don't trust it actually. But I don't know why the mayor would lead us on a wild goose chase.
He's a bit of a trickster.
Indeed, I guess
Likes
he
his
could have.
boozing.
But
And they always accused me of being a trickster.
I mean, he didn't.
Oh, that's
He
just
didn't
racist.
tell us to come here. I mean, he only told us to go to that star. So perhaps this isn't even part of his thing. How much do we know about this Gregory person? And he's already gone. I feel tricked.
You know what? At this point, Ugla's he's very zen, and he's normally pretty unshakable and just very peaceful and kind and able to just like weather any kind of storm. But the thought of being sent into a swamp for something that's never happened before and being told no directions and just a general loose idea of where it should be and thinking this is it and it not looking like shit, it's going to get to him. He's going to appeal to his god, who I said earlier, Altus, for guidance on whether or not this is where he should be taking the sconce or if it even means anything at all.
Okay. Not being a cleric, appealing to your god is not something that really comes easily to Ugla. You normally have to like sit in meditation for many hours, usually within your temple, to even think you've gotten a sign from Altus.
Yeah. So he's not even accustomed to being angry. So this is just like a thought that flashes through his head. Like,
Okay.
give me a sign if this is real or not. What am I even doing here? Just pissed off.
Roll a d100. Okay. You're looking up towards the night sky, and you see a falling star that was not falling before just shoot directly in the direction of the mine.
Everyone in the group feels him immediately calm, and his bubbling rage subside. This is it. This is where the sconce is. Right through that hole.
And you know that how?
You know, sometimes the stars just line up.
Oh, God.
And he starts walking confidently into this fucking mine shaft.
Okay. Everyone else?
Well, I guess we are here, so we might as well go. I guess I will follow him. What about the rest of you?
Well, if you guys are going, I'm going to follow. There's safety in numbers.
Okay. Lycus, I'm assuming you're going as well?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let me put you on the map. If you're looking at a black screen, scroll all the way to your left and maybe some down.
He'll pause, like, as he's doing, oh, we should probably get the buckets for the slime juice barrel. Did we get that?
Do we want to grab it on the way out, or
only
do we
once
still
we-
need it?
I'm expecting we're gonna find more spiders than slime.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so the four of you crowd in to the dark mine entry. As you walk inside, you actually find that there are a lot less webs, at least in this entryway. But the interior here is truly dark. Dark vision does not help you here.
Much less with a torch in front of us.
Do you have a torch?
Yes?
Do you?
What? Is it gone?
Oh, right, no, the torch. The torch. I was like, what?
I thought, dude, I was getting a fucking...
For this whole time, I have not thought of the torch as a real object with light source attached to it. Like I gave the Gerbine the rocks because I was like, I don't know if these fucks got torches in their inventory. I better give them some rocks.
That's.
I just had a Call of Cthulhu flashback there. You're like, what torch? And I'm like, oh my god. It was a fake torch the whole time.
Actually
He's
just been
just
playing
hallucinating.
the entire
Yes,
time.
exactly. This is our Call of Cthulhu character's game. Frank,
you,
you son of a bitch.
So you guys are so your torch casts a 10-foot glow. So you got a this small, halo of light and total darkness beyond. Within your, like I said, within the glow, actually very little to no spider webs. Maybe like actual teeny tiny spider webbing, but none of the giant spider webs you were seeing outside. Um, the interior of the mine is, if anything, more dilapidated than the exterior. It looks as though something has come and gone through here many times over the lifespan of the mine itself, but who knows how long ago that was. Now that you're inside, there's less wind to carry and to cover tracks, so you see hundreds of footprints muddling the area, none of which look newer or older than the others. You do not see a mine cart, and largely you don't really see anything else thanks to the darkness. However, you do hear what sounds like flowing water somewhere in the distance.
Are the footprints all gerbian?
No, they definitely range in shape and size.
Okay.
Oh, who does Ugla think was the? I mean, he would remember this shit. Who does he think was the torchbearer last year?
Bring
Like
the torch
he
in. 'Cause
so
remember-
nobody took the torch out
Yeah,
last year.
that was the thing the history check really
Yeah.
recalled, is that there has never been a torch taking ceremony, only a torch bringing ceremony.
Yeah, so knowledge of the games, like the results last year, would not be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the torch bringing ceremony, the lighting of the flame, and
The
the presenting of
champion
the
and everything.
awards, the champion. There's never been a dousing of the flame and the taking of the torch. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Just walking straight then. Let's
Okay.
go find that sconce.
You, what would you say your marching order is? In fact, put yourselves in a rough grouping here on the map.
I'm definitely out in front because he's obsessed with having the torch in front.
Hmm.
Are we gonna walk in a single file line?
That's
Is
up
it
to
big
y'all.
enough
You
for?
could be in a
Yeah,
you
I'm
can be in
kind
a
of off
loose
to the side.
you can be in a loose grouping, or you could walk in individual squares. It's entirely up to you.
He's taking the straight central path. He doesn't really know any better.
Okay, where are you putting? Oh, he's talking to his wife.
A line, probably.
That's the question. And just wait, Resic, move yourself to somewhere wherever you want to be, unless that's the spot you want to stand in.
Doing a line. Okay. Well, I'm gonna kind of do that.
All right, so we've got us a loose diamond here. So the four of you move forward. How confidently do you stride? What's your pace like?
Seeing that falling star, and for as devout as this man is,
You're
he's
feeling
pretty
good?
confident.
Okay.
He's just He's at a leisurely pace, walking forward.
All right. You walk forward into one of the main, or at least the first of the switching chambers. There's a once upon a time rotating wooden platform here that would be used to switch the direction of a cart. The rotation mechanism is either rusted through or broken, because as you step on it, it shudders a little but does not even offer to turn. The torch casts a decent glow into the area, and you do start to see some of those larger spider webs in the area, though not nearly as prominent as they were previously. You continue following this primary track, and you do and ahead you expose what looks like some sort of bridge.
Oh. So I've been trying to track the what is it? The footsteps that I found.
Remember, the moment you walked in, they were completely muddied with 100 footsteps.
Oh, okay.
Ahead of you along the primary track, you spot a large web covering most of this particular path in front of you. Looking through it, you think you see the beginnings of some sort of wooden structure, perhaps a bridge. And to the south, if you lean a little with the torchlight, you see the remnants of a door and more webbing.
Well, if we were supposed to cross this bridge, it's not really possible now, and I'm afraid if I light this webbing on fire, it'll burn the wooden bridge. Maybe we check out this door.
There's also a path to the north, two paths to the north that you passed.
Or one of these paths to the north that we've passed.
You can tell north down here.
North on the map
Uh,
is up.
I know what you mean. I mean,
Left.
But-
My left is always north.
there you go.
I'm very well oriented.
I have zero preference. I don't know what I have no clue what to do right now. So I
Oh.
just I don't
Oh.
even know.
Can anyone cut webs?
I have a short sword that should be able to cut the web.
Let's see what happens. I mean, obviously, straight and narrow is the way to go. Like, it's just super thick with webs and shit.
Resic, roll intelligence for me.
Hmm.
Did we lose Kosher? Or is he just really, really not moving?
Oh no.
He's got audio, just no video.
Oh yeah, okay. The video definitely froze.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
It's actually a pretty good shot if you're gonna be. Oh,
It's not like
Stuck in
really,
the-
Like he was super. He was just like,
right, he wasn't going.
yeah.
I apologize. My Discord just wanted to restart.
no worries.
No.
It's all good.
All right, roll me that intelligence, Resic. That's a save, not a check, but it's probably the same for your character. That's a good roll. It occurs to you that cutting spider webs, not really a thing that works very well. Mostly, you're just gonna swing your blade through them, and they're just gonna
It
stick
just
to your
pulls
sword.
down. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you still can. I'm not telling you no. I'm just letting you know that your character's like blade cut webs. I don't think so.
Well,
You have a blade that can cut it?
no. No.
No.
Do you want to try and improvise something rather than cutting it? Maybe wrapping it around the blade and then using it as a second torch.
I have a quarterstaff here. You could try that with.
I was gonna say you get a stick.
I have an idea. What if we use this torch to heat up the blade and then try to cut through it? Maybe it'll just melt off.
That might leave his sword in not the best shape, though. I imagine that melted spider
mean,
web.
Okay, here we go. If the torch can burn the spider web, then if you can get the blade hot, it should burn
Meanwhile-
through it too, right?
Danra walks over
Let's
to a
test it.
smaller one and starts swatting it.
Just to a web.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're just pushing spider webs with your feathers.
I'm just, and then it gets stuck on me.
Yeah.
Does anything move while I'm doing this? Do I
Not that
hear
you
anything?
see. Just the sound of the water. As you've moved, as you've moved into the caverns, the sound of moving water has grown somewhat louder.
I imagine this bridge has something to do with that. I
Could
don't
be.
know.
So,
I'm going to say that I don't really want to heat up my blade and lose one of my swords.
Here, I got my stick.
so Genra's got a wing, and Lycus has a stick, and y'all are just kind of brushing the webs out of the way.
Is it sticking to them,
It's
or are they
definitely sticking to
effectively?
them.
That is a lot of.
Here, I'll give mine a shot. So I'm gonna unsheath my long sword and see how hot I can get the tip of this thing. Maybe
You
a
ever,
minute.
You ever tried to heat metal in real life?
No, this is literally just him making this up.
Okay. It takes a while and a
Oh,
good
yeah.
amount of heat.
And yeah, a heat way hotter than a
Yeah.
fucking torch.
And
Yep.
you're not, it's not like you're holding a crack lighter to a spoon here. This is a torch and thicker metal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it after like a minute,
He goes to touch it. Ooh, nice and
it's
hot.
it's moderately warm.
And he pokes it into a web.
It sticks
it
to the
stick?
sword.
Well, it was a shot. So I'll get that little bit off of it and let it go.
Okay. A couple minutes go by, and you guys can clear most of this webbing out of the path if you wanted to walk forward.
I'm making cotton candy with my quarterstaff.
All right. You do, in fact, expose a bridge. And as you move forward, this is indeed spanning a deep crevice, at the bottom of which you can only assume is the running water, because you can hear it, but it's too deep to go. It goes beyond your torchlight.
What the hell do you know right now, Dungeon? Your face is
Oh,
so
I just got an incredible
exciting.
picture that I would have never expected. Got a picture of my mom and dad, 19 years old in the
Aw.
70s, with her first Firebird, and just seeing them at like, I don't know, in their late teens, it just fucking blew my mind. I haven't seen too many pictures of them young. Like my dad has a full on like fucking early 70s looking like ridiculous mullet. Like this is probably like 1971 or something
Hell
too.
yeah.
And my mom has these like patchwork hippie pants on, and she's sitting on the hood of the car, and it looks like she's, I don't know, it's not even like a set picture. She's like trying to say don't take a picture or something maybe. Plus seeing my mom with dark hair, she hasn't had like dark hair in my lifetime. She's always had, you know, dyed blonde hair. So seeing her with super dark hair and my dad with like I said, a hippie mullet. Wow.
Perfect.
It's like these are people I've never known. Also,
Life-changing.
my dad is like infinitely skinnier than me.
Wow.
I guess I'm also much older than him and much
Yeah,
boozier.
that's
It's
Much
ridiculous.
boozy.
Yeah. It's just so ridiculous.
I had to ask because you look so excited.
It's
so-
very it's exciting and shocking
Yeah.
to get this glimpse of the past. I don't know. I guess the human mind is just, I don't even know how to put this into words. My brain doesn't function the same way year to year, and I've lived like a bunch of different phases in my life.
Mhm.
And at this particular junction, to see these pictures of my parents as children, also knowing them as 65-year-olds right now, who I'm having to like do everything in my power to get them to not fucking try and go to the store and just, oh God, just like as almost as children right now, but you know, within the last week or two, you know, I don't know. It's just a really weird full circle kind of thing, especially since I'm about to be a dad. Basically seeing my parents as what I'm about to raise. Just, I don't know. Weird.
Life, man.
Completely. Sorry.
I derail it. It's okay. I
It
take
was just
full
a strange thing to
responsibility.
see. I didn't expect that.
So, you are on this bridge. You can see across it. It's not a very wide bridge, and you can hear the running water below you. You haven't run into anything, you know, untowards in here other than just really old and a lot of large spider webs. Continuing forward.
Oh, I've got an idea. Look around. Do I see any like big sticks or logs or anything?
Sure, there's probably wooden trash in the nearby area.
I'm gonna grab a big old piece of wooden trash and just use it to just like clear some of that spider web out of the way because we don't care if it gets stuck.
Okay, so you got yourself a pseudo torch out of a stick of wood
Yep.
covered in spider silk.
With that other hand, I'm just gonna cotton candy it.
Okay.
Just swirl it on around. Help get across the bridge quicker.
Alrighty. So you move forward to the other side. And not much changes. You're still within a mine. You're on the other side of this large area. There's a stop here for where a cart would have, you know, ended. And you see just above you, or just on the map here, just over there, there's more cart tracks continuing deeper in. And there's a small path southwards along this edge.
No sign of anything sconce-like.
No sign of anything sconce-like. The rock ahead of you is porous, but not particularly sconce-shaped in any capacity.
There's no hole.
There are, but none of them that would like easily fit. Like you could jam it in there if you really had to, but none really, you know.
Nothing
torch-shaped.
sticks out.
Yeah.
There's no markings or anything.
No.
Can I pick up a rock and drop it into the crevice and count how many seconds fall?
You can roll intelligence to count, and then do math. It's probably 40, 50, somewhere in the 40 to 60 range. So not terribly far, all things considered, but not exactly something you'd want to fall into.
Mm-hmm.
In the darkness, at the edge of your light, while you were still just barely crossing here, you did spot to the south side of the map here what looks like a downward step, maybe some like stairs loosely carved into the stone that would walk down into the crevice. So
Okay.
I'll mark those here. You saw like the beginnings of a stair. Continuing
Is
on.
there a way down to the water, or is that just something inaccessible?
It looks like you could get down there.
Definitely looks. I would call it precarious. They are not stairs. It's a stone, a stone easing that someone might have like picked out some kind of step shaped crevices into.
Well, we could go further into this, or we could go down, or we could go back. I'm at a loss.
I look over to Ugla and ask, well, what way do the stars tell you this?
Torchbearer, quit speaking to your parents who are ghosts now, and where would you like to go?
He licks the tip of his feather, holds it up like this, and which particular direction calls to him?
The breeze blows further in.
This way.
I don't trust this breeze.
You continue forward and through the darkness. I like when we leave this tunnel. I will show you the full thing, and you'll see where all the monsters are and how you're just walking around them.
Thank Altus.
Yes. So you continue forward, and there is kind of a deep looking crevice up ahead, and you do in fact see a very dim glow in the darkness ahead of you in a small crevice.
This is it. This is the altar. Allow me to go ahead and plant the torch in what will surely be a sconce right up ahead, and we can get to the slime juicing.
Yes.
He says in hyper confident, stupid bravado.
As if this is definitely how it's going to work out.
That's what he expects. He saw his shooting star, and his god has, since he converted, has not let him wrong.
All right. Ugla ventures into the crevice while the three of you wait in the nearby, area. And there is, in fact, a small, oddly shaped for rocks, but perfectly, shaped for a torch hole within the wall of stone here. And it glows with a soft light.
He nods to himself. Oh, perfect. I knew things would work out. And just goes and plants it right in there.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. As you plant it inside, you feel it kind of settle in, and the glow like intensifies in color and brightens ever so slightly before you hear just the slightest of sounds of like stone on torch material, stone on stone, more or less, of like some amount of movement, and the torch
Grinding.
yeah, essentially, the torch shifts ever so slightly, kind of settling in on its own, even though once you've let it go with your hand.
Thinking to himself, very cool.
The glow intensifies, and the sound of rushing water behind you softens. The glow grows a little, and you feel something coming from the sconce, from the torch. I don't know. Maybe it's congratulating you. Maybe you did your job, and it's pleased.
This is the ceremony. maybe maybe there is a true honor and a graciousness. This feels like more than a job well done. I feel like a champion. I'm gonna sleep well tonight.
I'm sure you are.
If you get there.
The sound of the rushing water dims to almost nothing, and the four of you hear, coming from this alcove of stone, loudest, of course, for Ugla as you're standing in it still, the sound of someone clearing their throat.
Hello?
And a voice emits from the torch in the sconce. Ugla, Genra, Reshik, Lykish. The voice of Pontus, the mayor, is speaking as if through or from the torch. I hope you arrived at the sconce without issue. Maybe you even got some of that star metal. I bet that'll be useful in the times to come. I'm sorry. Let me start with that, I guess. I know this is gonna be difficult, but I did what I could. You got out. You'll be spared. I know this is too much to charge children and strangers with, but you're the only choice I had. Don't stay in the reach. Leave. Please. Grow. Train. See the world. See the wood. But next year, at the anniversary of the festival, would you bring my torch back to the reach? I think you'll find it's for the best. And the voice drops, like it stops as if the message has ended, and you get the feeling he's still there. You still hear him breathing, and his like breath kind of increases, and his dog becomes very insistent at this particular juncture. His like he sounds like he's getting short of breath, like he's starting to have trouble breathing.
Pontus?
He's got the Rona.
Can you hear me through the torch?
The voice comes back in. You won't forget me, will you?
You hear me right now, or is this a kind of message?
I liked it better here. There was nothing before. I'll be less than nothing now.
Pontus?
The glow dims, and the torch goes out.
Is everything all right in there? You're not
You all
giving
heard
us
the
anything.
message.
Oh, shit. That sounded quite terrible. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that he might have died. So, Ogla, are you okay?
I don't know. Ugla's gonna take the torch out and put it in his backpack. I don't know what that meant, but for as much as Pontus likes to joke around, that was not a joke.
No, it was not.
I don't know what to do.
Nor do I. I feel like he was talking to just you, and we all have family and friends, and
I mean, he did say all of your names. Probably
Oh,
not.
Yeah. And you're all just kids. I mean, I've already lived a good bit of life. I don't know.
yes.
I don't know.
Well,
He wouldn't have joked about something like this. He said stay out of the reach. Clearly he knows something that we don't.
And
Let's,
bring this back in a year.
Yeah, he said to take it back home in a year. I mean, I haven't been out of there in a very long time. The
What
idea
are
of
we
not
supposed
going
to
home,
do?
especially when
Yes.
your home is a temple and the streets. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never been in the wood. That sounds like could be fun.
Sounds
I just-
very eerily like it's something that we need to do.
Let's go back to the friendly Gerbine village and see what the closest, bird settlement is.
So you grab the torch. You head outside, following the same path. Randy reveals the map because you walked into literally nothing. I got stuck. Wow.
Nice.
Wow, there's other stuff.
Bunch of slimes, 2 big ass spiders. More
Oh yeah,
slime.
Ugla's super spooked and totally forgot about the slime stuff.
Okay. So you guys head outside. And we rush towards the exit. As you...
As-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we're leaving, I remember that we wanted to get the pick, or that we found the pick.
So you snag a pickaxe on the way out.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the 2 half barrel.
All right. How are you carrying a pair of half barrels?
Maybe just one.
Barrels are not small,
That's true.
Even half a barrel is pretty much your entire arms.
Yeah.
All right, carrying 1 half barrel then,
Okay.
because I like arms.
Okay. As you step out through the gap made in the wooden fencing, your eyes are drawn northeast, where a large and flickering glow lights the skyline.
Ugla already knows.
That's crazy. Dare I ask, is that what I think it is, Ugla?
Do y'all have any family outside of Winnowing Reach?
Do you have any
Anybody?
family inside Winnowing Reach?
I have some to the west of Winnowing Reach.
3 of you are children. Are your families in the Reach?
Yes. Families were.
Ugla's gonna put his winger on Jinra. It's okay. Wherever we go, we'll go together.
I guess so.
All of a sudden, the flickering fades. Not as if it died down. It's gone. It just vanishes on the horizon.
Well, I could have sworn that was a fire, but I don't know why it would have stopped so quickly.
Something is certainly afoot here. I don't think any of us have the answers right now, but I think we should hurry back to that Jabin.
Yeah, maybe they heard something.
Or saw something more.
I don't know how we're going to get that out of them, but we'll just figure that out.
Okay.
We can charades it out.
So you hustle through the dark. Now actually in the dark, as the torch is inert.
Yeah, it's just stowed.
Okay.
It's a relic.
Yeah. Hustle through the darkness around the hillsides towards the Jerbine swamp town. It is well and truly into the night, probably approaching, if not just after, the high moon hour. You hustle. I would imagine you guys are maybe not running, but you're definitely not, sauntering slowly through the swamp, given the events as well as the time of
Right.
day.
A wordless, brisk walk.
Okay. Speed walking into the
Yeah.
Jerbine town. There are very few Jerbine remaining awake. It looks as though 2 of them tend a small fire, one on like the outskirts of each side of the town, just keeping watch. But the rest are very likely asleep.
Can you go straight for Grigory's hut
Okay.
and open the door?
You walk through the area. They don't have doors. The scouts spot you and wave in a friendly fashion. and you head towards that smithy hut and inside. It's on the larger side of the huts because it has to support a small forge. And you know walk in the darkness. It is in that black and white kind of soft vision, as none of you have decided to pull out any lights. And you step in noisily. You hear the soft sounds of somebody stirring to wakefulness.
Do I see him?
You see somebody beneath covers on a small bed with a pillow.
You can just march right over to him and put my hands around.
Around him,
Just grasp him.
like his whole body.
Yeah,
Okay, are you picking him up? Or you're just like grabbing him.
just grabbing him.
Okay, you walk up and you grab him. He
Gregory.
he shifts
Gregory.
he shifts in surprise, and you hear a ah ah, and he pulls the blankets down. It's not Gregory.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where's Gregory?
Gregory. Who?
Gregory.
Who is this?
It's Gerbine. You didn't
No,
you didn't ask
I'm,
anyone
I'm
else's
saying
names.
that in character.
Oh, I see.
Gregory?
Who?
Looking for Gregory?
Lycus is
We
going
went
to
to
pull
the
out a
hall.
little coin, and he's going to grab a needle, and he's going to poke the coin a little bit and give it Grigory's appearance as a still image on the.
He looks at first fascinated by the magic, but then getting what you're trying to get across, he looks at it. No.
Star Metal?
Where?
Star Metal.
Gregory. Where?
Lycus takes a
Grigory,
step back
no.
outside and looks for the star metal block.
The large, boulder meteor is still on the side of the town.
Okay.
Sorry. And then Aguilar's just going to walk outside. We'd walk past those dudes who were on guard and go up.
Sure.
Gregory, second place.
Grigory.
Yeah.
Grigory?
Where?
He points at you. Grigory?
No. Gregory, you. Would I? Where, Gregory? Blacksmith?
Smith! He points you back at the hut you just came from.
I say it with a little bit of a loudness to it to try and get her point across a little.
Do
Speak
you?
louder and slower.
Yes.
So I'm going to pull out the torch sconce, which is now,
Mhm.
or the torch.
Torch.
And yeah, do you know me, Torch?
Torch man.
Yeah.
Torch Strig.
Games Gerbine champion.
Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan.
He points
Where?
you back at the smithy.
Thank you.
I-
Going back in there.
Okay?
Stefan,
Stefan.
pull out the torch. Me? Stefan, me?
Torch.
Yeah, torch. Do you know my name? Name?
Slime. Strig.
Yeah. Ogla?
Ogla.
No.
He looks like he's accepting this as your name just now.
How the hell do you know about slimes? And how do you know about the torch if your name isn't Gregory?
Gregory. No.
Lycus points to himself, taps himself on the chest a couple of times. May I? And then he makes the gesture as though he's laying on his head on his hands. Sleep here.
He gestures to the dirt in his house. Like he only has the one pallet for himself.
Lycus pulls out his bedroll.
Sure.
Genra's also settling down on the ground.
I'll walk back outside, or I'm gonna look at him. Bird folk talk.
Uh,
Better.
uh,
Who?
uh,
Who birdfolk better?
Stefan.
Mm, How slime strig?
How? He has no idea what the hell that means.
Slime strig.
Slimestrig.
Why? When?
How?
He's like pantomiming.
How no? How no?
Barrel.
Yeah.
Barrel.
When?
Before.
How long?
He says some words. He
Time?
probably doesn't know how to count in
Much
Bird
time?
Folk. Sun. Then he, you know, finger. He does sun 4 suns.
4 sons. We left earlier tonight. Maybe that was a magic mine? What the?
What? Can I ask a quick question?
Mhm.
This might be, I don't know if this is metagaming or not, but I'm just thinking about the fact that we did take a trip here.
Mhm.
You just asked him about the games. Perhaps they were just 4 days ago.
The games where you
I
left.
don't
You
know.
left Winnowing Reach 4 days ago.
That's what I was thinking. Not that we were in the
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
so
afraid that
he
you
might
think
know me
time
from the games and not
changed.
from our journey.
Right. I don't think we went on that little trek tonight and came back 4 suns later. I think he just is associating us with the game.
Ah. Oh. Stefan, games?
Game.
Yeah. Stefan at games?
Slimes.
Yeah,
He,
Stefan at Slime
he
Game.
pulls out the star sword. Slime.
Oh, shit. How are you not Grigory? Grigory's sword.
Stefan's sword.
Stefan makes sword?
Stefan hammer star.
I look at everybody and say, I will be back, and I want to have a look around everywhere else, if
Sure.
I can find any trace.
Sure.
As I do it, I want to do it stealthily, so not to arouse suspicion from other.
All right. Roll stealth and investigate.
Oh no.
Okay. You, I mean, you successfully sneak around the area. You don't think you've woken anyone, but you don't find anything out of place, anything that really catches your eye.
Stefan go swamp often?
Oh, swamp.
Stefan go swamp one sun, one moon earlier?
Swamp.
Torch?
18. No, he doesn't. He doesn't know the word. He doesn't know how to count. He
Right.
literally starts counting off on his fingers. He goes 18 suns. Last time he was in the swamp.
Stefan knows magic?
Magic.
Any Gerbine magic?
He doesn't seem to know the word magic.
Inn? Is there an inn?
No.
Sleep floor?
Yeah, I mean, fucking Lycus is already asleep on the ground over there.
Denver's
Okay.
also already sleeping, so
Okay.
Stefan, we join you?
He points at the floor.
Sorry. Thank you. And I'm just going to pass out.
Okay. Any last activities, Resic?
No, I was just gonna say I'll return and look around, really confused, and go to sleep.
Okay. The 4 of you sleep through the night. Everyone roll a d100.
it backslash roll or is it
Forward slash
roll slash?
forward slash roll space 1d100.
Hey.
I'll never remember things
Someday.
ever.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Damn.
A 2 and a 97. We get to see everything that happens.
The number you rolled is how restful your sleep is tonight.
Ooh,
Genra gets a good night's rest. Makes perfect sense. She's a peace-loving, happy critter. This definitely shakes her a little, but it's hard to rock a person like Genra. Resic, you've traveled a lot. You feel pretty good, but you definitely wake up once or twice. Ugla, you are not feeling great about this. You wake up several times in the night. You have a variety of bad dreams. In one of them, you see the temple in Winnowing Reach, and the outline of what you think might be Banton, your high priest, or the head of the temple at least, traveling from like the outside in darkness and into the temple before your dream shifts again. Lycus, you have the worst time. Your family was deeply ingrained in the Reach, and they are gone, probably in a horrifying manner, if there was indeed a fire, and this haunts you through the night. You awaken in the morning, technically rested, though perhaps not mentally feeling it.
I think we got to go back to Meadowfen and check out the tavern and see what they saw. Something strange is going on here. I don't know what the fuck any of this is.
Well,
Yeah.
before we head out, I go and I want to try and get some of the ore or
Okay.
metal from the star.
Yes, that's true. We do need to get that ore. Oh, and Stefan, Gerbine Shaman?
Shaman.
Gerbine Mystic.
Witch?
Gerbine Witch, yes.
Swamp.
Please?
Swamp Witch.
Yeah, Gerbine Swamp Witch.
He points to the swamp.
How far?
One son. Son.
Gerbine Town Elder? Gerbine Leader?
Elder?
Yeah, leader.
He walks you towards one of the huts where the oldest living Gerbine is in this town. There is, in fact, an older Gerbine. He's probably in his late 40s, which is the tail end of the Gerbine lifespan. He's graying around most of his fur. He doesn't, in fact, have a pretty long wisp on the chin.
Oh, Stefan, translate. Help.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm gonna give him like one. Well, I mean, I guess I have money. Hang on, let me look what it is. I'm gonna give him 8 copper.
He takes it gladly. I mean, they don't look like they have a lot of coin needs here in town, but they probably do some trade. So
Right.
He's
That's what he has from the games.
right. He takes it gladly. So you're there. The old timer looks up. Oh, Strug.
Yeah.
Strig.
Yeah. Looking for Gregory.
Stefan at least has heard you say that a bunch. Yeah. Oh. Gregory.
Gerbine Gregory.
Gerbine. Gregory? The old man thinks, Gregory. He points to the south, and Stefan, listens for a while and interprets. And south, sons. Grigori.
Yeah? Name? Town name?
Oh. Turbine.
Huh. Lives alone? Solo?
Family.
Grigory family, 4 sons, south.
Turbine family. Then he gestures at his whole town. Turbine family.
Oh. Oh. Grigory village?
Family.
Village family same? Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, yeah, it's clicking in his head here. Okay. Straight south? Help map?
He he grabs a rock or a stick nearby and draws a big circle, points it right in the center. Stefan. And he draws south some, and then he draws some kind of like winding structure somewhere to your south, and then pushes the stick a little to the east, and then makes a point. Lighting that up with your map, you probably walk south to the major river structure there, and then east along its banks.
Is anybody good at transcribing this kind of stuff? Like, we got the map, but I'm not so good at marking.
I can try to mark.
Right.
All right, you think that there is a Grigori somewhere within this area.
Okay.
So, wait, Stefan, winnowing reach. Reach, yeah? Reach okay?
Yes?
Yeah?
Yes?
Winnowing reach good?
Fun.
Fun?
He thinks
Winnowing reach games.
He thinks you're asking
right?
about how about if he had a good time when he was there.
Yeah. Happy?
Fun.
Cool.
Like it steps
Glad
outside.
you like it.
Seems fine.
Okay. I think we should head back to Meadowfen and see if they know what happened at Winnowing Reach, since we can't go back there. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, old Gerbine.
All right, you guys head out. He waves goodbye. You take the
The rock. We need to get some of the rock.
right,
Though.
the rock.
We do have a pickaxe.
You do have
I've been doing that the whole
Yeah,
time.
he was already working on that.
All right, roll me a dexterity check, Resic.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're not having a lot of luck. You've never been a miner before, and so like you think you have to swing it really hard, but every time you swing it really hard, you don't aim very well, and every time you try and aim, you can't swing it hard enough. Roll strength. Yeah, you're really just not making any like you've knocked off a bunch of chips of rock, but it's all over the place. So you really haven't made any progress at all.
So we meet back up with him.
So you walk over there and there's like chips of rock all over the place. He's been working on this for like a half hour. Like there's a bunch of rock chips, but it doesn't look like the boulder's any smaller or different looking.
Oh, can I give it a shot?
By all means, I'm frustrated. This thing is difficult.
All right, we got to get going. I'm gonna take one big heavy swing at it.
All right, roll dex first. You're not feeling very accurate.
Bloop.
Try strength.
Oh shit! I didn't swing hard enough.
There it is. More by luck than by providence. You You just like you get frustrated and you know you have to go, so you just take one huge full strength swing and happen to land in one of the many holes that Resic already made, and a large chunk, maybe probably about the size of that half barrel. So you could put it in there and
Wow.
it'd be hella heavy, but you could, and there are definitely there's definitely a good amount of kind of metallic veining within the chunk.
All right, looks like we got a piece. Let's get out of here.
Are there any more obvious veins on the?
Now that you've knocked out a good sized piece, yes, there certainly are. You can shine if you like shine a light in there with a torch or something, it will reflect a good number of like medium sized veins, maybe the width of a sword itself at some points.
Can I see that pic?
Can't just leave all this star metal behind.
The
Yeah,
value.
what do we
Think
think?
of the value.
All right, Dex first. Hell yeah! All right, try strength 2.
I love that he had the worst dream too
Right.
of his whole family getting destroyed. But he's like,
Like is-
but
I just
mon-
don't care right now, and it's kind of like the darts curve, where eventually you just kind of like you're just like, bam, bam.
Lycus awakening from an awful night, feeling frustrated and unable to deal with his poor night's sleep, uses his frustrated strength and aim to knock out not chunks that are heavy to carry, but actually long slivers of this ore straight out of the boulder.
Oh, wow, much more effective. Very nice, Lycus.
Thank you. He's gonna put those in his pack.
Okay, so I'm gonna need someone with an actual positive strength score, which I think is probably only Ugla. Ugla, you are the only
Plus
person.
4, yeah.
Yeah, you're the only person capable of carrying the half barrel plus the chunk over any distance.
Yeah, he's extreme. He's like, I think Uggla's as strong as all the other characters I've had combined, so he should be okay.
All right, so you guys strike north. I assume you're intending to take the safe route still.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
You strike out north, and at the end of the second day, you rejoin the main road and find yourself walking into Meadowfen. Ugla, you are very tired.
Yeah.
Carrying this thing is a pretty extreme strain over 8 to 10 hour stretches.
Did I see a blacksmith or a sort of mining operation?
Here at Meadowfen, no, they're a way stop. Your best hope
No blacksmith.
your best hope is probably to get lucky and purchase a cart or something.
Is there any alchemist shop or anything like that around?
The only shop here is that singular multi-purpose building. There might be an alchemist inside, but you'd have to check. It has been 4 days, and so you know that the merchant. Well, Resic knows that the merchant who was here last time is still here, because she was going to stay a couple weeks. But there might be another, or who knows?
Do we still have that pickaxe?
You do.
I'm really tired, and I don't know how much further I can take this. Can I see it for a second?
Sure.
I'm gonna like stomp this thing real hard and try and like smash it into the ground a little bit. Then I'm just gonna swing the pickaxe at it as hard as I can.
You try and break it into smaller pieces.
Yeah, and just pick whichever piece has the most deposits in it and take that.
Okay, roll strength. All right. You definitely feel like you're going to be leaving some behind, but you have smashed it into some more manageable pieces.
So I'm gonna take the pieces that look like they have the most
Right.
of the vein in it and put them in my backpack,
Okay.
and just leave all this detritus on the side of the road.
All right. You will no longer strain yourself, but if you had 10 ore units, now you probably have 7.
It's fine.
Okay.
He's just exhausted, and the fact that there's no way of refining this here, he can't keep carrying it.
Okay. Does anyone else want those other 3 heavy ore units to cart around? For your weaker characters, those 3 bits are basically all you could carry anyway. No. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see about getting a cart and maybe some uh, acid or something to go ahead and try to clean it up, make it a little bit lighter.
Okay. All right. So you head into Medifin. It's only been 4 days. It's largely unchanged. There are more or less, travelers walking through of like nondescript, unnotable, natures.
Is anybody entering the town from the east along the road?
You don't see any other travelers along the road. No.
Gonna go straight into the tavern.
Straight into the inn you go. Inside, the same barkeep and bouncer. One different patron, and some of the other patrons who were here 4 days ago have moved on.
I'm just gonna just rush up to I guess I'll go to the bouncer who I had a slight rapport with from last time. Any guest last night or this morning?
Points at the one new face.
From east, what direction did he? Oh shit! Do you know where he came from?
Fields. I think he came from the swamp, from the south.
No word from Winnowing Reach.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Did anybody see a big flash in the light in the night? A big flash in the sky last night?
Not that I've recalled or that I've heard anyone say.
You saw us travel through here yesterday, right?
Well, 4 days ago, but yes.
That was 4 days ago?
Remember, it takes you 2 days to get from here to the Gerbine village and 2 days to get back, so 4 days.
So yes, 4 days.
It's been 6 days since you left the Reach.
But you remember me, right?
Of course, you were, Ugla.
Right. We had a Gerbine traveling with us, right?
Yeah.
Man, we have a hell of a trip.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Tough times in the hills?
Almost life-changingly strange. I've never seen anything like this. So we drop off the torch, and the torch lights up, and it's our village leader, our mayor.
Oh, magic.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
cool.
Some kind of magic. And he says, you can't come back to the Reach.
Why not?
He sounded like he was dying. He was super sad, and he had sent us away, almost as if to get us out from whatever was going to happen there. And the fact that, there's normally plenty of travelers coming through here every night, right?
Not really every night. We're the main road outside of the wood. Maybe like once a week, we could say reliably. Sometimes more, but I wouldn't say we see someone new but once a week.
Maybe just chance.
Did he say anything else?
He said, don't come back. And as soon as we walked outside, we look up in the sky and there's just this huge glow, and it just looked like a fire. Like the whole place was going up in flames.
Surely
but then it went
we would
out.
have seen that.
Yeah, that's what it's just driving me crazy.
I feel like, he said don't go back, right? But he said like, don't go inside. Like, could you go near it? Like, I feel like I feel like you need to check that out.
He said, don't go back to the Reach. I can't go back to the Reach. It really creeped me out. I can't do it.
Oh, maybe, I guess if you don't wanna,
can we send a courier?
Maybe we could. Yeah, we don't. We don't have any here now, but they pass through.
I like that idea. What do y'all think?
What else did he say? Any other clues?
Are we all in this area?
Unless any of you didn't go.
Okay. All right. So
Nothing really. Just that was pretty much it.
So they didn't know the name of here's the weirdest part of all. So a talking lantern or a talking torch, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
But the weirdest part by far is our little Gerbine guide, his own home village didn't know.
They didn't know Stefan? That's weird.
Yeah. They didn't know Stefan.
Oh my goodness. This is
Does
unacceptable.
Stefan come through here
His name
often?
was Gregory.
Oh no, definitely not often. But like he came through here to get to the Reach. You know, he said he was going for the games.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the name Grigory?
I knew a Greg.
What about a Greg? Gregory.
No, I didn't know any Kriegs.
Well, apparently we didn't either, because he is just about as made up as ever.
Okay.
Yeah. For some reason, it gets wilder, man. Our whole crew thinks that Stefan's name was Grigor.
Maybe you guys got some like gas in the swamp.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
I
was
think
gonna
this
say
is the mayor. I think it has to be his doing. He disguised a Jabin and cloaked him in something and gave him a name, and it's all part of a plan that he had for us to leave and no one to be able to follow up with any sort of anything that we could latch onto. And
I think you're right. And I think something real bad happened to the Reach.
I want to know what happened to the Reach. I'm very tempted to get somebody to fly over. I mean, I would do it myself, but I feel like we've just,
yeah. Bird,
you know.
like teeny tiny bird folk. Any of them are
The
I
Luma?
mean, I'm sure we could find somebody to pay
something
them.
that can fly real high?
Maybe?
Remember that none of the humanoid bird folk are small, and none of them can truly fly.
Maybe bird dimmy folk?
Birds?
Right.
Perhaps there is a sort of seeing glass that we could use that could see things very far away, but closer.
Nothing like that here.
Well, I have no idea. I think we either choose to go back in some capacity or we just leave it be and trek on in a different direction.
All of you need to roll intelligence.
Yes, Ugla's true strength.
Oh, I did a save, didn't I?
Yeah, but what's the? I mean, you can keep the number.
It's
What would your
20.
bonus have been?
20.
Oh, you have a +3 to your regular
what
int.
is my bonus? Yes.
Okay, so yeah, it's 20.
Well,
All right. This is a DM freebie that only Genra is allowed to try. I will have to DM it to you though, so that
Yay! DM freebies. I will take.
got the bird brain.
just expecting the message to be about that time you notice. It could be anything. The plot.
What was that message that the mayor said? Do you recall his words?
Stay out of the Reach. Don't
He
come back.
mentioned something of the Reach, of not coming back,
Yeah.
something else.
And going to explore for the rest of the wood.
Was that it?
I think he just said don't come back. And that he was sorry. First of all, he was sorry.
And then to bring the torch back in a year.
Yeah.
Yes, a year.
Bring the torch back in a year.
That's correct.
Magic torch. I mean, we already know it's a magic torch. He was talking through it, right?
Yes. Wait, wasn't there a? But wait. Okay, let's just think about this out loud. He gave us this long message, and then there was a pause, and he seemed different when he came back from this pause. What is it that he said during that pause?
The pause. The pause was
Yes.
at the end, and he just sounded like he was out of breath or dying or something.
Didn't he say he was sorry?
Oh, he said he was sorry a lot.
What did he say?
And I gotta admit, I've never heard him that serious. He's a pretty affable, joking kind of guy, which is why it shook me.
Well, I don't remember any of it.
Apparently, none of us remember any of it. I do remember that he paused, he sounded strange, and he said he never meant to hurt anybody. I'm having a very difficult time
Yeah.
remembering all of the words.
He did say something like that, I guess.
Yes, I believe it was something to the extent of that, right? He never meant it to get that far. Am I just mincing words here? I just can't recall what.
He said something like that. I mean, I think I just mainly took like the
It
feeling
sounded
he was
ominous.
putting across more so than the actual words.
It sounded ominous and like he'd planned something,
I'm
correct?
gonna have to delete this VOD.
I was gonna. Oh, did somebody mention? I was like, I was already thinking I'm gonna go back and listen.
Quick tip, D&D players on my game and in the audience: when your DM stops for a critical scene and something important's happening, you should probably pay close attention and maybe take notes.
I thought I had all of it down. I really did.
I got the important part. Stay out of the reach.
That's true.
Stay out of the reach. This is something that was part of some sort of plan. He felt really remorseful, regretful about whatever was happening. He wanted us to stay away for a year and then bring the torch back.
That's all I got.
Okay, that's what you've got.
This is how we get fucked every game.
It really is.
Yep.
I
I
could
mean,
have sworn.
This is
Hang
how
on,
players
wait. I
get
got
fucked
something.
in every D&D game ever.
James, you have to know what he said. I know you know what he said, right? You have to know.
No, actually, I remember about 80% of it.
Damn it,
But
it's like we all
there is
have
about
the same-
20%.
I think he said, "Stay out of Malibu, Lebowski."
That's definitely it.
I think that's what he said.
No.
He said, "Don't return to Winnowing Reach."
Yeah, stay out of the reach.
I will
Sadly-
confirm he definitely said that.
Come back a year later with the torch.
Right.
There are some details in
Explore?
there are some details in the parts you remember that you've apparently forgotten.
Right,
And there's one major section that you've all just missed apparently.
Fuck is wrong?
He said, "Go explore and live your lives and all that stuff,"
Yeah.
and that he was sorry about how things went. He felt bad he had to trick us into going to this shit.
So he did trick us.
Oh, absolutely.
Something about children.
Yeah, he said most of you are children, and I feel terrible about it.
He said something to the effect of, "I feel bad for sending children and strangers," implying 3 kids and one out of towner, basically.
Oh, so obviously
Yo.
Grigory.
No.
No?
Ugla is
Ugla is the stranger.
Ugla
Oh,
is
yeah.
Ugla is not a child, and he's not from the Reach.
Yep.
Right,
Right.
but
He's
Okay.
been there a long time.
He is.
yeah, that's why I keep confusing. I don't know. All right, so then why did he choose Ugla? Well, I mean, Ugla won, but like, I don't know. This
He
whole
needed
thing is-
someone to
Third
take that
place.
torch.
Ugla's a very dependable dude. So if you're gonna pick somebody,
Ugla
Why-
has served the community of the Reach in a lot of very positive ways. He's also
Right.
strong and seems like a leadership type person. Whether he's actually capable and intelligent of doing so may be up for question.
he knew he wouldn't drop the torch.
Like if you're trying to look into his intuitions here, it might be like, I need to give these children an adult.
Right.
But why
So
would he
I guess the
call
guy that
Ugla a stranger.
It's a good question.
Right. That's why I'm so confused. The terminology is where I get lost. I don't know.
If only you'd written it all down.
Fucking. Oh God.
All right, so You've asked the bouncer a bunch of questions. You stood around and pondered as a group the message to the best of your abilities at the moment.
I'm gonna go talk to the stranger that's in the tavern,
Okay.
and I usher anybody else that wants to come with me. And I say to the group, "Hey, uh, the other guy just came kind of from a similar direction. Let's go see if he saw anything. I assume he either traveled here last night or he could know something. Check it out."
Yeah, might as well.
Go sit down with said stranger. Say, "How's it going? I'm Resic. Can we sit down with you and talk?"
Pull up a chair.
Pull up a chair, sit down.
And calls out and barkeep. My friends here look like they're hungry for dinner.
Thank you. You are
Gumption.
all right. Well, we just came back from caverns and the swamp area. Did you happen to come that way?
I'm from the fields.
Okay. Have you ever experienced anything odd? Like people forgetting others in that area?
Oh, the gases in the fields do something powerful awful to your mind.
I don't believe he's telling me the truth there. Can
Roll insight if you'd like. Either he's telling you the truth or as it's the truth as he believes it.
Okay. Um Did you when did you get here? Did you get here late last night? Did you come in this morning? Were you
Oh.
traveling the night or
I've been here about, I'd say, just over a day. Got in yesterday afternoon. Yes, Miss Goose. You seem like
right,
you're having
goddammit.
agitations.
I sat here and I skimmed back. And now I know what we're missing, I think. And I'm just going to dement to you because I know I can't say it.
Okay.
But gosh darn it.
All right.
It's pretty close to what we were all thinking.
Did you go back and look too?
Yes.
You cheaters.
I can't act on it, but it's
I'm not
pretty
gonna-
close to what we were.
I'm not going to go back and look at it because it would.
It's subtle. It's
Yeah,
not. It's not something that was going to stick out. I feel like we got the intention of the message, but we're just missing the exact word.
Yeah, we didn't realize. Yeah, it's one word in particular that stood out.
Yes.
And I was like,
At
oh,
the very beginning.
At the beginning.
Oh, maybe not.
no.
I'm starting to wonder if I cut out during my scene or something.
Maybe you did. Maybe you did, Rich.
Maybe.
Maybe I should go watch my own
Was
VOD.
I wrong?
I mean, the. All right,
No, I mean,
everybody,
that,
put on
like,
your meta hat.
That
Everybody
thing,
put on
that
your
part
meta hat.
is true. All right, no, like this is one too many things. I will just go back to the scene. So you guys were there. The torch went in. The voice came out. He cleared his throat. He called the four of your names, and he said he hopes you arrive without issue.
Right.
Maybe you even got some star metal.
Yeah.
He thinks that I bet that's going to be useful in the time to come. He apologizes. And,
Yeah.
and like he starts to seem hesitant here. I'm sorry. Let me start with that, I guess. And then he starts talking about how something's going to be difficult, but he did his best. You got
Right.
out. You were spared.
Spared is the word we
Right.
were missing.
That is an important word, but it is not the
Yeah,
piece
but that's not
that's one of the small details that you missed, and not the big chunk.
Really?
Then he said, and then then he moves on about that. You're the only choice. Blah blah blah. Don't stay at the Reach. Leave, train, grow. Come back in a year. Big pause. Now, did you guys not see the rest of this scene? There's more words after this part.
No.
I remember hearing what you said after I watched it.
I remember him
I mean,
Okay,
breathlessly
so
and not
there-
being sure if he was
okay,
talking or not.
so you did-
to
you
me or
did-
not.
Oh, okay, that's the point. That's the thing that happened that apparently you're all forgetting and maybe now can see in the VOD. There's this big pause. My voice shifts entirely,
Yeah.
and I say another 2 sentences before the torch goes dark.
Right. So all I was remembering was Ugla being like, "Can you still hear me? Can
Right.
you hear me?" And it sounded like just a pre-recorded message playing out. So I guess not.
Okay.
yeah, like he was
Shit.
dying. He basically died.
The pitch shift implies it was maybe not him speaking the end of that,
Could be.
I thought he.
or there was a time shift.
Or
I'm
something.
so
Yeah.
confused. I
Okay.
thought he was framing us with whatever he did. That's what I had.
Ah.
He used the word charged. He was like, "You'll." It feels like he was putting the blame on us, so he shouldn't come back. And it was for the better. I don't understand. I'm so lost.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, lost is a very reasonable way to be. That's fine.
I mean, I'm right there with my characters.
Okay, so but we have gone back through there in character. You guys don't seem to grasp a lot of the finer points of this message, and you've lost that post pause thing in your memories. That may or may not be problematic in the future. We'll have to wait and see.
Why does this
Bless
happen
you.
to us? Cedric?
Thank you.
Why are our characters / us so dumb that we things up?
Okay, so you're talking to this man named Gumption.
Say gumption.
Gumption, Gumption, Gumption.
Okay.
He sound like he probably from the Louisiana area.
Okay. I look over at Resic and ask him, does he
you
still
are
have the
Resic.
map? I meant,
I look at myself metaphysically and ask myself.
do we still? I look over at Ugla and ask him if we have the map still, and then ask the guy if he knows where we marked where they said that Gregory was. Yeah, Gregory.
Yeah. Yeah. Names.
You pull out the map.
Yeah. Lycus marked it. I think we got it.
Yeah. So you pull out your map. You've got a rough zone to the south of the mock fields. He looks at it. Well, there's a river system down there. Sometime we use it to ship goods. I wouldn't be surprised if a Jerbine family took up residence. Some of the Jerbine, they like the river.
Okay.
Swamp rats.
Well, that's just racially insensitive.
Yes, that is quite uncalled for.
Oh, it's just a term I heard my father use. I didn't know it was bad.
Well,
Goodness gracious.
So I look at everybody and I'm like, well, where are you headed to? If you're heading anywhere else from here, are you planning on settling down? Or are you heading back to the fields?
you talking to Gumption?
Yes, to Gumption.
Oh, well, I come up this way maybe once every other year. Head over to the Reach, check in, maybe get some supplies that we don't really make real good down in the fields.
Oh, you're on your way to the Reach.
I am.
How long do you intend to spend there?
I was headed out in tomorrow.
Heading back through here on your way to the fields?
I don't usually.
Something happened there. I don't think you want to go.
Something happened.
I don't know. There's a big Fire.
Fire?
Fiery light.
I feel like I'd have seen a fire, boy.
Middle of the night. Wasn't more than a few minutes.
If there's a fire, it certainly lasted more than a few minutes.
Well, if we gave you some coin, would you be willing to head back this way after you went there if you're not going to stay long?
I do apologize, but I'm kind of on a time schedule.
Okay. Well,
If you're wanting to go to the Reach, why don't you just join me?
after what we saw last night, we don't plan on going back there.
We're gonna head down to Marshview, I think.
Marshview. Are you gonna go through the fields?
Yeah, probably go through the field.
Look out for swamp gas.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we should look out for in the mock fields? I know that we heard that Gerbine said that there was a witch in there.
Oh yeah. There is tale of a witch. Then there's the Shamblers, and of course the Slimes.
The Shamblers, like dancers?
Sure.
Huh. Marsh dancers. Interesting.
We can
Maybe
buy
we'll
them.
go all the way around.
Well, if you're going round, you'd have to pass by the Reach or take the extra long way, I suppose.
I think we might go the extra long.
Oh, well. Safe travels.
Same to you.
Thank you, and we appreciate the meal.
So you really intend to go into Winnowing Reach?
I got to get the supplies.
When you're there, let's say I give you 5 silver. Could you give it to a courier to send us a message to here saying you got there okay?
Sure.
We'd appreciate that a lot.
Five silver, a lot for courier, boy. Well, you're not. I guess you're not a boy, are you? Are you these youngins' guardian?
In a way, yeah. I guess. I'm the torchbearer.
Torchbearer. All right. I mean, is there anything in the Reach you're looking for? Should I say hello to anyone?
Check in on Mayor Pontus if you have time. Get him to notarize the note that comes back to us.
Did they change the mayor? Did he get a new one get elected?
No, Mayor Pontus is the mayor.
When was the last time you was in the Reach there, sir?
4 days ago?
6 days.
6 days ago? Who's the mayor now? Shit.
What you mean now? I mean, I ain't been there in 2 years, but 2 years ago, the mayor was an older Malpac named I think it was Borman.
Pontus has been the mayor for at least 30 years. Borman.
Maybe so, sir. I don't go there very often. I suppose maybe I have forgot.
Do you know about the slime games?
The festival, yeah, I've been there once in my youth.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, I mean, I reckon they was just held not a few days back, weren't they? It's about that time.
Do you know who the winner was?
No, I ain't been in that area.
Do you know much about the games at all?
Not really. Like I said, I only been there once during my childhood. I think I remember there was some slime wrestling.
Yep, just some slime wrestling. Nothing to really talk about. That's true.
Oh, I thought it was quite entertaining.
Maybe forget about the whole message thing.
Oh, well, all right. You still want me to send a courier?
No.
Nah, I think we're good there.
Well, all right. I mean, I'm sorry I couldn't have been more help, folks. It's been nice to meet you. I'm thinking I'll head up to my room.
Great to meet you too. You should be fine. I'm sure everything's fine in Winnowing Reach. We're just feeling a little weird. Maybe we got some swamp gas last night.
The gas will get you.
Hmm. Not wearing a hat, but he's gonna like tip his hat anyway.
He nods.
Tip his beak.
Tip his plumes.
So is that not Pontus?
So we're from some other existence. Like the world as it is right now is not the world that we were in 4 days ago. There's no way around.
I don't
no,
think that's it.
no.
I don't think that's it.
There's
No.
no way.
Hold on
I
a
think
second.
there's-
Person
different
walking
person.
with us had a different name. The mayor I've known for 20 years somehow isn't the mayor. Something's up. Something big is up, and nobody saw a big light from it last night. Like something is so up. And we can't, like, nothing anybody's
had
going to
to do
tell
with
us that
those-
has a sane mind is going to tell us
Those
anything.
people I saw as we were leaving Winnowing Reach,
Wait,
they were
what?
playing with some fire. I told you guys I saw this group playing with fire. I think they were druids. I don't remember.
Oh, you did see something.
Tender druids?
Indeed.
You did see weird tinders playing with fire.
I did. And I said,
Tinders
"That-
sitting around a fire.
that's right. It was weird.
That
And
is
I
weird.
said, that was very strange.
I don't know if they can mess with people's brains, though. I mean,
No, but I do think that they had something to do with this because they were surrounded by fire. And I think this fire that we saw is connected to them. And I don't know how Pontus is really truly connected, but somebody or Pontus himself or
Pontus
someone
is
pretending to
gone
be Pontus
or never existed.
I don't know. I do not know who Pontus is. At this point in time,
He
I
was the
feel like
mayor.
I've been lied to my entire
He was a
life.
prankster and a really cool,
Not a prankster.
interesting dude,
Pranks
but
come to an
very,
end.
very ethical and straightforward. He wouldn't have done something to hurt him.
Look,
He was a good
let's-
So, do we want to avoid it or do we want to go investigate it, guys?
He told us not to come back.
I'm never
and
going back there,
I'm
man.
questioning
Until
whether
I get
we
the
should
torch
listen to
meter.
him. I am very much questioning how much we should read into what he says and take it verbatim, or if we should do the opposite and investigate it ourselves and find out for ourselves. But I just
No. I've known Pontus a long time, and hearing his voice over that torch, those were his last words. I have no doubt in my mind. And if my old friend used his last words to warn me not to go back to the Reach until I'm returning this torch in a
But-
year, there is no chance in Hades I'm doing that.
how can you be sure that that was him? He sounded different after the pause. That's
I feel like I just want to go back to the Jerbean village and then head south until I find a.
my entire family is
So you find a what?
Find a boat.
Go find the Grigories?
Yeah, go find Gregory, and then.
You know, you're right.
we-
Grigory has to be some kind of a hint. Let's go figure where that leads us. We ain't got anything else to go off of.
I feel like Gregory is a dead end.
It was such
Nobody in that town had heard of Gregory. It
The
had
old
to be a
guy.
false name.
a old guy knew.
He hinted that there was a family in the south. That's it. He didn't say definitively that there was a Gregory in this little shack of a
Gregory family.
town. I don't know if I can trust it, but I mean, I'll follow along. I guess I
Oh,
don't have
here.
any other
Oh,
family at this point.
Let's look at it from this angle. You ever met anybody named Grigory in your life?
No,
Yeah, that's something we were supposed to remember.
I
It's
don't
important.
even know if I met a Pontus in my life at this point. So
Really?
Not
How long are you
really.
been doing? How long you been doing business in the Winnowing Reach?
I mean, I was born and raised in the Winnowing Reach. I've dealt with so many people
You've
and
lived under
Pontus.
Pontus your whole life. You gonna say you don't know him?
I mean, how could I say that I know somebody that would do such a terrible thing that would
You
destroy
heard
our
the
town?
message. He didn't do nothing. He just tried to save us.
I mean, he did say he did something.
Man, he loved our town. He wouldn't have hurt nobody.
He was apologetic for what he did.
What'd he do?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
Something magic. Tells you. This is my 5th accent of the night, by the way. Don't know if y'all picked up on this.
All right, Genra is gonna stop arguing. She's gonna go with the flow, because she is basically,
Ah,
a water bird.
which way is
So
the flow, Genra?
I cannot decide where we're going, so I will follow you and the others where you go, and I'm not going to try to persuade you to do anything that you don't want to do.
Do you believe in any higher powers?
No, I mean I do believe in oh my god, what is her name?
Yes.
I had to look mine up too.
I keep forgetting it's like her mo.
Hermione. That's it. That's her.
Hermione.
That's it. That's it. I don't know her name. I'm sorry. I can't remember it.
Are you looking for one of the gods or goddesses?
Yeah, it's a god. It's the one that I would believe in, the Gallus.
Okay. Does it start with an H? So Hanera, the provider.
Hanera, yes.
Paneras.
Not
Yes.
Panera bread, but Hanera.
Panera. Yes, I can remember it that way. Yes. I guess I should find some sort of peace and meditate and think happy thoughts and not be so dismissive of my family.
Gunra,
Ugh.
you got your whole life ahead of you. But the next decision you make is going to be very important. Definitely think about it. That goes for the same for you too as well.
I'm thinking. Perhaps I'm
Rezik,
too lost in
Lycus, I know which way Altus wants me to go. But the way that you need to go, that's entirely up to you. Although, I highly recommend it not be back to the Reach.
Maybe this is all a challenge.
That's life.
Have we
The
been
last
chosen?
20 years of my life have been a challenge.
Chosen. We've been chosen. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't know, so I'm going to strum my lyre, and I'm going to get so much out that way, so
Genra starts to work through her frustrations with her instrument.
Well, Ugla, I believe you have swayed me. I don't particularly believe in the higher powers that be, but you have yet to lead me astray, except for getting me in this mess to begin with.
Well, as much of a mess as it feels right now, it could have been worse if we had stayed home. Maybe there's a clue on the torch?
It's funny you mentioned the torch. I was wondering if you were going to pick that back up.
The fire. Fucking fire.
You pull the torch out. You begin to inspect it for clues. Maybe there's a trigger to make the message pop out again, or the fire to turn back on.
Yeah, we gotta be missing something.
Surely you're missing something. You mess with it, you try and twist it, you try and bop it, you try and pull it. Something must have happened. It's starting to get hot in your hands. But there's no fire. The stone itself is beginning to heat.
It's strange. It's getting pretty hot. I don't remember this.
Pretty hot's an understatement. It's rapidly growing very hot.
Okay, it's actually very hot. And I just like grab like my metal, my shirt tail, and hold it through that.
Okay.
Are you okay over there? What is going on?
I was looking for some clues on the torch to try and figure out what it was about, and maybe some way to replay the message or find some sort of clue or something. And it's just getting really hot.
But it's not even fiery.
So you're holding it with your chainmail shirt?
I have a shirt on over that, so both a cloth shirt and the chainmail shirt underneath that, like pulling them up.
Okay. So you got your cloth covering and the chainmail as a barrier, and you're
Between
holding
my
it.
hand and that, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, my shirt tells I'm rapidly trying to figure out like how to turn it off or whatever I did.
It helps for a bit. Well, 10, 15 seconds go by. It starts to get hot. Your whole shirt starts to heat because you're holding it with a metal object.
Oh God! I'm just gonna drop it to the ground real quick. It's burning my hand through my shirt. I think I turned something on it. I don't know.
Just before
How you weren't to put it down.
Just
Did
before
you
you
twist
drop
it?
it does it. It's so hot that it is going to burn your hand, and you feel your skin getting to that point where it's absolutely about to blister, and you're thinking about dropping it. You're about to yelp in pain and be forced to drop it, and you get just I don't know, a whisper, an echo, a sound. It sounds like something's on fire nearby. Do you drop it?
Oh my fucking god.
It's definitely going to burn you.
All right, so
We started.
Ugla's a very, very religious / superstitious kind of guy.
Yep.
He gets this message in his head, and he holds on for dear life.
Okay.
Panic flashes through his eyes as he turns to the group. It's extremely hot and about to burn my hand off, but I can't drop it.
He says he starts to speak. It's extremely hot. It's going to burn, and he just kind of trails off, his beak open. He's trying to speak. Ugla, how many hit points do you have?
11.
Okay.
No.
How many hit points do I have? Because I have none.
Let's see, Bard, so D8 plus con.
Lucky. You take 1 point of fire damage and 4 points of psychic damage. And we're going to cut here tonight.
Okay.
Dungeon, after we're done, I'll need you to stick around.
God.
Okay.
We'll let the stream watch. We'll have to trust our trio of players who aren't in this scene to close out of their streams. And,
See y'all later.
To be fair, that's the old game, is you can't use it even if you hear it.
Exactly. It's like I can talk about it all I want, but my character knows nothing.
Right.
But it's fun if you actually don't know sometimes.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'll see y'all later.
Next week, dude.
Chedge Pepper Kosher, thanks for joining us. I'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Hi,
Absolutely, dudes.
people.
See y'all next Thursday.
See ya.
Hello, Dungeon.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
Hot and spicy.
Feel like you know what's going on yet?
No, absolutely not. But I know that my character is very committed to, that good old fashioned sacrifice yourself for the greater good kind of thing. So he's not willing to let go in any sense of his memories, of his past, of what he thinks is good, of his God. And in this case, in doing what he thinks he's supposed to do, which is, he thinks he's supposed to drop that, or he wants to drop that torch, but then that little flash through his brain, he can't. So, yeah.
I've never done this before in roll 20, so let me know if something happens for you.
Okay.
Do you hear anything?
I have audio disabled on roll 20.
Can you enable it for me?
Let me give it a shot real quick.
'Cause not the audio from me. You need the audio from like that the game might give you.
Yeah.
So like
I think I might have said like disable and don't ask again because it always wanted to use like my microphone and my camera and shit.
that's the audio input output. That shouldn't be the same. Maybe in the audio output source you do or not have an entry.
I'm looking in game settings right now.
Yeah.
Audio input source, audio output source, nothing set. Here we go.
Yeah. So set an audio output source for me.
It's disabled. Oh, now I see none. Something you just changed let me pick none.
I didn't change anything.
Really? That's
Yeah.
kind of spooky.
Haven't touched a thing.
I'm gonna receive from others video and voice.
You don't. Yeah, not those two settings. That's the camera and VoIP settings. 3 up from that, you had audio output. You don't have anything there.
No, it might be because I'm on Firefox. You want me to try it on Chrome or something?
No, it's not terribly important.
I've got the stream open. Does that help?
It would a little delayed. I'll just DM you the audio file, and I will play it for stream audio. Where is my file folders?
I mean, I can just listen on the stream and respond to that.
Nah, it's not as fun. No, I guess I don't have it. All right, well, I don't have it handy. Sure. Let's listen on the stream and respond there.
Okay.
So you'll be a little delayed. Okay. Let me pull that audio back up. Can you still hear me?
I'm gonna go ahead and mute Discord and listen on the stream. Let me know when I'm.
Okay. We'll play the audio now. And like you don't even need to respond. I'm reading you a scene here. It's a short clip. Your eyes roll back in your head. You grasp firmly upon the torch, and your vision opens up on a different scene. The temple's on fire. The fire started within, below. Your cot, that of the others, the meager possessions of those with so little left to lose, ashes. Banton, your leader, the high priest of Altus within the town, bares his talons against the flames and marches into the pyre. An agonized screech and the slicing of nails against flesh. The fire takes shape momentarily. Tall, feathered, wearing feathers, robed for sure, a pendant topped by branches and holding a fiery red jewel at its center. Sight zooms across the town. Homes, buildings, trees, all aflame. The streets are empty. The homes are empty. The festival grounds are packed tightly with a crowd, quiet and still. No cries that know that their homes are aflame. No screams as they seemingly may or may not be burning. Fire encroaches on all sides, but their eyes are turned inward, unwavering, to the center of the arena. Pontus, your mayor, the hearty and friendly Gallus, stands atop a heap of piled bramble, tied to a post. An antlered crown sits atop his head, adorned with charms, insignia, runes. His crowing screams crowd your ears so loud you shut your eyes and cover your ears. The darkness envelops you in its cool comfort. No more screaming, no more fire, no more heat, no more light. Only the after, only ash. When your senses return to you, you're on the ground. You open your eyes before your hearing returns, and what you see is blurry, watery, hazy, smoky. But you blink it away as you begin to move slowly, and hearing is coming back to you. Your vision clears, and the smoky haze moves on, I guess. You're fine. Or you probably will be when the scent of ash leaves your nose. And the vision fades. You feel fine. Everything's okay. Your party's probably around you. They'll be freaking out. We'll get to that next week.
Is the torch still in my hand?
It is. And you'll have a hearty blister.
Yeah.
You feel
Holy cow.
You feel more or less awful. Mostly from the psychic damage rather than the one burning damage. But yeah, that happens. For reference, I will DM you the iconic imagery. But other than that, we're done for now.
All right, so basically reinforced all of his worst fears.
I guess so. All right, pal. Streams. Yeah, it is a little loud, Ekong. Sorry, I don't really have a volume control. It's been a blasty blast. Yeah, rip cameras. I will see y'all out there in the stream world, and you, my good buddy Dungeon, next week.
Absolutely, dude. See you next Thursday.
See ya.
Thanks for a very exciting start.
You don't need